Hello again all, hope you're ready for some more Trilby's notes. Last time we threatened to set the hotel on fire, breached a fire escape, acquired a crowbar, and infiltrated this. And we're about to touch a chisel. Man, I wish Siobhan would touch my chisel. I couldn't even find her though, I'm so sad. That was retarded. Moving on. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. How did I know this was going to happen? Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, AD 1789. Pretty close to the 28th, folks. Oh, God. Siobhan, I got that one. Mubuta? I don't know. Had been a great warrior. In battle, his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. He had had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake, it had all been torn away. His mistake was in standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was ruined, his women raped, his children murdered. And for Mubuta, the worst fate of all, sold to the white men in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. Mubuta was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave. But then came the sickness. A simple fever, no doubt to be gone the next day, but the white men took no chances and threw him overboard. For days, he drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. Coming around, Captain. Voices, unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. He was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was as weak as a newborn, and could not move or speak. Looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been drifting out here, but he can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord, look upon it, men. The greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that men, sailors such as you or I, did this, left this poor wretch to die. Slavers aren't sailors like you or I, Captain. No, I do not know how those devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today, there is no pride in being an Englishman. Find our new passenger some quarters. Make him comfortable. Passenger, Captain? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. Is there something about this policy you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at him. Still frightened, but somewhat reassured, he passed out. Days passed, and his health was restored. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he would carve the finest idol of his life. Look, the Sea Angel was a small clipper built for speed and the fast delivery of cargo. It was late in the evening, and there were few crewmen on deck. Look, deck. Okay, look, crewmen. There were several crewmen tending to the ship scattered around the deck. Despite the language barrier, he could tell they were friendly and cordial. Look, ladder. sturdy ladder led down into the darkened cargo hold. Look, cargo hold. Okie dokie. Look, crewman? Talk. Ask crewman about... Oh, this isn't gonna work. Wood. He could not understand the white men's language. Any communication would have to be nonverbal. Point wood. What's that? You need a tool? Go talk to Edward over there by the jolly boat. He might have something. He did not understand the words, but the meaning of the sailor's gesture seemed clear. Suppose this would be a jolly boat? Look, jolly boat. Okay. Can I walk this way? Okay, I guess not. Look, barrels. 1 or 2 wooden barrels were scattered around for convenient reach. Open barrels. He had no means to do so and would have been impolite. Okay. Look. What is he doing? That is a chisel. Hammer and chisel. Look, chisel. Point at chisel? Alright there, laddie. Oh, I see. You want something to carve with? Here. The sailor handed him a sharp, almost brand new workman's chisel. Just bring it back when you're finished with it. Okay. Use chisel on barrel. I need wood. Point at wood. I'm not asking for a chisel! Fine, I'll try the cargo hold. Maybe you folks have some spare wood for me down there. Climb ladder. Look, the hold was plunged into an almost total darkness. With the memory of the slave ship still recent, he was unwilling to venture from the light. Does that say O'Malley Shipping? Oh, great. Look, crate. A large crate was sitting in the shaft of light, with letters stenciled on that he did not recognize. It was cheaply made with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked ready to fall off. Open crate? A strong smell of tea rose from the cracks in the wood, but he had no interest in the actual contents of the crate. Use crate? Use chisel on crate. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, he could finally create his offering. After several hours, he was very pleased with the result, a fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. All that remained now was to return the chisel. Look, idol. Certainly it was the finest idol he had ever carved, a fitting offering of thanks. Get idol? He decided the idol was fine where it was. There was no need to move it. Look, crate. Okay, well then, let us climb the ladder then. I do not like that sound at all. Look, deck. Yeah. Climb ladder. I'm not gonna like what I find. Flee! Fucking... The vision faded, and I felt myself being hurled forcefully back into the present day. That... Yeah, I think this game qualifies as more gory than the first two. That tall, thin creature, that black-clad ghoul, what was its significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again? throughout history to spread death and horror. There was no connection to the idol's shape, or Mabuta's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. It must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There had been a name on that crate. He had not been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner have been an ancestor of Siobhan? It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point my only lead. I resolved to discuss this with her at the earliest opportunity. Looks like we have another note. I recognized it as being from the same source as the one under the painting in the lobby. Victim 4, the slave. The fourth man who desired judgment was the slave, who had not been brought Freehorn's message, and who tormented the wood that was the prince's soul with a sharpened blade. The prince came to him, and he struck the slave down, and he knew the name of the king. And the prince said, "Not one of your household shall I leave alive, slave, for thrice now have I brought my warning, and any who still fail to heed shall be named as fool and judged most unworthy in our sight." Okay, so my thinking here is that the prince is that tall demon ghoul looking thing. Bridgekeeper, for whatever purpose, looks like it's John Defoe. Don't know who the king is. This shit doesn't sound creepy at all. Okay. Let us save just in case. So I'm not actually willing to, end this video just yet. Finally, Oh, it's you, Terry. I thought you might have been the serving staff, at least. Ask Abed about staff. You haven't seen any of the hotel staff since our first conversation in your room? No, it's very odd. I can only presume the hotel is closing, but it's still light outside. Ask Abed about Sea Angel. Do you know anything about Siobhan's family tree? Specifically, whether or not they ran a shipping company in the late 18th century? That's not exactly what I was going for, but okay. I really don't know. I just thought I'd ask. Why don't you ask her? Instead of wasting my time and yours with questions she could easily answer herself. Man's got a point. Ask Abed about unicorn. That was hardly a relevant discussion point. Fine. Ask Abed about hotel. Has the hotel changed at all? What on earth do you mean? I can't seem to find any staff. But has the building changed physically, become older, dirtier? Terry, I am becoming very concerned about you now. Have you been drinking? Ask Abed about... Oh, God. The name. She said she was going to get a drink. I keep telling her it's not right for a girl her age to drink so much. But what do I know about young people today? Look, Abed. Abed was sitting at one of the dining tables, his expression patient but somewhat confused. Okie dokie then. Let us go to the bar. Mr. Railby, have you seen any of the hotel staff anywhere? I'm afraid not. Perhaps they go to bed early in these parts. Ask about bed. How is the professor? He looks fine, but I can tell he's getting frustrated. He gets cranky if he goes hungry for too long. Me too. Can I just type ask about staff? Oh, God damn it. Ask about okay. Sea Angel. Ask about O'Malley Shipping. Do you know anything about the history of your family? I wouldn't be much of a history student if I didn't now, would I? Well played. I'm researching my family tree as part of my diploma. That's ideal. I appreciate this may sound like an odd question, but trust me when I say it's important. Did your family run a shipping company in the late 18th century? That is an odd question, but I do remember reading something about O'Malley shipping. I'd have to check my notes. I left them in my book bag. Could you meet me in my room in about 5 minutes? I'm in 2A, next to a bed. Certainly. I'll see you there then. Lady. Okie dokie. Let us go then to 2A and acquire the data. I'll leave it in this video. Why not? Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'm a cheese. You made it to the top of the... That didn't even make... You made it to the top of the... Stop saying stop, Grimith. You made it to the top of the staircase. That's what I'm going for. It's all slanted and crooked and shit. Just in case. You know, I don't want to fucking, walk in there and see... whatever. Come in, please, Terry. You have the papers? Must you always get right down to business? She's not gonna proposition me, is she? That'd be kinda awkward. How are you feeling? We were a little worried about you. I have these moments of illness. What do you want to talk about? Defoe Manor. Oh. It kind of interests me. I was really into the media coverage of the incident at the time. This client of yours, the one who wants the figurine, what does he know about it? Oh boy. Well, he has an interest in the occult, and there's some nonsense story going around about it. Something about the idol being a vessel for an evil ghost. I wasn't really paying attention. Uh-oh. Really? I don't remember hearing about that in any of the reports. No, you wouldn't have. It wasn't what? Have you heard the story that Trilby was in the house? Oh God. I could feel cold sweat drooling down my spine. Every fiber of my being was concentrating on not giving any outward signs of alarm as she spoke of my secret name with wide-eyed enthusiasm. Uh-oh. No one believes it, but Simone Taylor insisted it was true, right up until, well, you know. She says he saved her from the house. I think that's a little far-fetched. That's exactly what a bed says. He says a ghost is one thing, but throwing Trilby into it just makes it seem silly. He is right. Truth be told, I don't think a bed believes in Trilby any more than he does in ghosts. He's so grounded in reality. Sensible attitude. Most definitely. Have you always been an antique dealer? Uh-oh. Stop pressing me, woman. Now you've come here to finish off the ghost. I always knew there was something else. In this world, that there was something better, more glamorous, just below the surface. Will you take me... Listen to me. There is nothing glamorous about what I do. I live in shadows that threaten to consume me every single day. And if you pursue this any further, you're going to walk straight into one. Wait, what are you talking about? There is something extremely dangerous in the hotel. I don't know what it is, but... Uh-oh! This looks like a great time to end the video, folks! What the fuck does this mean? Is that like July 28th? We don't have time. We are fucked!